Bailey, with the really young women's cross-country team, let's talk about the season and how you think that the team has worked together, to really get ready for the GNAC Championships on Saturday.
Sure. So we had quite a few freshmen that really had to step up in the past couple weeks. So specifically, we've seen Katrina Schuchard, Ella McKenzie, and Lydia Foster really just take on a leadership role on the team. And the great part about them is they're not afraid to just go for it. They're not afraid to pass upperclassmen or just do their best to push the team forward, which is awesome.
And what do you talk to the new ones about, especially since they haven't seen a lot of the GNAC competitors? They've never seen the course before. What kind of advice are you giving them, and how do you work through, a championship course?
We definitely advise the girls to not go out too fast because in such a big race, it gets really exciting and the top finishers are going to go out really fast. So we tell the girls to just keep a level head, to run their race, and to really just leave it all out there.
And I know, like you talked about earlier, the ones who have been finishing in that 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th spot have really been working to move up and close the gap.
Yeah.
Talk about where the team is working towards and some of the results that you've seen.
Yeah, so Rio is definitely leading the charge here, and Nikki and myself come up after Rio. And then we have Katrina and Ella, I think, really being competitive for that 5th spot. Lydia definitely comes up as our 4th, and so when you have a competitive 5th and 6th, it really just pushes all of us forward to keeping our position, to getting points, and to just passing more girls in an effort to just have the best end result.
And talk about the last few weeks, what you've seen out of the team and what they've been working on in order to get ready for this course.
The past few weeks, I've noticed quite a few of the girls are getting a lot faster. We have done similar workouts recently that we've done in the past, and the girls have just made really great gains. They're cutting their times down by a lot, and all of them are just really stepping up.
And I bet it's pretty exciting. The GNAC has such good individual runners. The women's teams, there's a lot of very competitive, nationally and regionally ranked. I bet it's fun to go out against a lot of these different runners.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting to go out in a big race and to know you're going to be surrounded by people, and just to know that every girl you pass is another point for your team. It's a really great feeling, and it's a really great time to get some PRs and really show off what you can do.
And maybe expand on that. What are some of the goals that you have for yourself and for the team as they head into the weekend?
I would say a team goal is for all of us to really be under 24 minutes for a 6K if we can. That's the best way for us to be competitive, and everyone's going to get a PR for the season if we do that.
And how are you as a team? I know you talked about those younger members coming in. How are you bonding right now as you head into this championship season?
We're all getting along really well. It's really fun to be an upperclassman because you get to share your wisdom with the younger girls, but they're super receptive to anything you have to share with them. And we're just trying to get together for some fun team things before we head into rigorous competition.
And talk about the Yellow Jackets, competing as a Yellow Jacket out at Western Washington and representing your school against these other conference teams.
I think we're coming in kind of as the underdog team this year. Last year was a little rough, so it will be nice to get out there and kind of show off what we can do and kind of redeem ourselves a little bit and just be competitive again against other teams. It will be really nice.
Coach, your women's team has a lot of younger participants this year. Talk about the first part of the season, bringing them into their training, collegiate training, and kind of what you're looking forward to as they head into the GNAC Championships this week.
Yeah, they're pretty inexperienced, about a good half the team. We had a couple girls that didn't really run cross country much in high school. One ran her freshman year, I think, and then played soccer. Another one their school didn't even have it. So they've improved a lot during the season. And our biggest challenge during the season was trying to get the gap closed up between our 4th and 5th runner. And our first 4 were doing pretty well and pretty close, running pretty close. But our 5th runner was back a ways, and she's moved up quite a bit. That's Katrina Schuchard, and she's really working hard on that. And I've seen her do that in workouts. She's made a real effort to try to hang on to those girls that are just ahead of her, and she understands how important that is in our score. So that's a really important spot. So yeah, I think they learned a lot this year, and you know, this conference meet will be another experience for them. But they had some experience in some bigger meets like University of Colorado and then at Montana State. So I told them that that was going to be similar to the conference championships.
They've also had some leadership in Rio Frame and Bailey Bomar. Talk about those two and their ability to bring in those younger runners.
Yeah, Rio and Bailey have really helped bring up those freshmen, and they talk to them, kind of reassure them that you know there is some light at the end of the tunnel here, and that you know they have to be patient, you know, and I've heard them talk about that they'll get in shape, and it really took about 6 weeks for them to start to get into shape. And then really it's going to take, I keep telling them it's going to take even longer than that to get it up to the, you know, higher level in the conference, probably a year, you know, to really make that adjustment. And it's just, you just sort of reinvent yourself out there, and you change your whole physiology. So if they can buy into that, that'll take a year to maybe even year and a half. They'll really develop. They can do it. It's just a matter of, you know, taking the time to do it.
So at the championships, what are you telling those younger ones that'll be their first time against a lot of these GNAC teams?
I'm just going to tell them to run the race they've been trained to do. You know, we train in practice for this. We train in the other meets, and to just focus on you know, maintaining your pace and trying to run the middle part of the race as, you know, basically as hard as they can, and push that part rather than kind of people tend to slow up mid-race, you know, and then wait till the last maybe quarter of it, and then kind of try to kick in. They have to be, and you have to be confident to push yourself in mid-race when you're starting to hurt a little bit. And that's our biggest fear out there, is to that you're not going to be able to finish for some reason, or finish slow, or just really die out there. And I think they have the confidence now to push through that, and you know, it's their first championship meet, so again, it'll be a good experience, and you know, we'll just see where we end up. So.
How would you like them to finish?
Well, I want to get off the bottom. We were ranked last, and that's, you know, I don't want to be there. I'm too competitive for that, and you know, we just we lost a lot of ground last year, and I think this group is you know, if you go head to head from last year's team, I think we made improvement, and you just can't let up at all in this conference, especially the women. It's a very deep field, and there aren't any weak teams out there, and we could get better every year, but the conference gets better every year. It's the same with the men, you know, that we've improved every year, but so has everybody else in the conference. So I just haven't seen any teams fall back, you know, and so we always have to get better, and that's just the reality. So you know, we'll have to see how they do, and just see what kind of standard we can set for, you know, this year, and then try it again next year.